Hi everybody, I'm Genesis Moss, and today I have a great band with an awesome goth rock sound, and that is Bella Morte. They have released 2 EPs and 7 full-length albums. Their latest is titled Before the Blood, released in 2011.
It's Before the Flood.
Oh, it said blood on the website.
On this what website?
Ravencon, I think.
Oh, they messed up.
Either they messed up or I messed up when I typed that.
Next time you talk to Ravencon, it's going to be after the blood. You better trust me on that.
It does. Before the blood does. We're just going to leave this in because that was funny. So this is Andy and Tony.
Yes.
Now, are you guys the only members of the band?
No, we have our drummer here is Brandon Shores, and we have a bass player named Marshall Camden. We're the creative force in the band.
Okay,
we've
cool.
had to, when we got on tour, because it's, being a touring band is not such an easy life, so we have had to kind of hire in musicians here and there and swap out members, musical chairs on that part of it.
Yeah,
Literally.
I always joke because I feel like every time we tour, because me and Andy, we've been writing and playing together for years and years and years, and but I feel like every time we're out on a tour or something like that, there's always different people with us, and so I always kind of boil it down to that we must be really difficult to work with. It's like nobody wants to play with us.
That's awesome. So what inspired you guys to form a band?
Oh man, I was into music since I was a little kid, and in high school I had done a couple of different metal bands, and I don't know, Bella Morte was when I first started to get into goth rock. I wanted to do something like that was a little less aggro, a little more melancholy, somber, but that kind of metal side of me kept, it stayed with me, and so Bella Morte still has a very driving sound, but it gave me an opportunity to do a little more singing, and I don't know, I love ghost stories and stuff like that, and those sorts of themes just worked well with Bella Morte, and once we got going, we never stopped. So, just
I'm going to go ahead and say first that using the word aggro makes me aggro as hell. Okay. But beyond that, it's kind of the same with me. I've just always... I've always played. I've always loved music, and Bella Morte was actually together in a form before I was in it, not for very long, and I had been playing in bands, a lot of punk bands, rock and roll music, stuff like that, and but we just, especially he and I, we'd always just been friends, and we'd always had a good time, and so they were just like, oh, come play with us, and it worked out really well, and we stuck with it because I've got zero other skills. Like I play guitar or I'm a homeless guy. And that's
Or both. Yeah, they are both.
When we first started out. But yeah, no, I just love doing it. I mean, it's not for everybody. Definitely, like you said, sometimes it can be hard. But at the same time, I would absolutely never complain about that because we're absolutely lucky to be able to do it, and we don't have to. We can go home anytime we want. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, anytime you hear bands out there whining about touring,
how
and
hard life is. Yeah, like stay home, get a job.
You don't have to do it. It's your choice. So it's like stop whining.
When you first start anything, it's going to be hard. You know what I'm saying? Like, we used to live in our van. We used to be uncomfortable. We used to not eat. We used to go completely broke as a band and personally just to make it to the next show. But we loved doing it. We stuck with it. I remember our first time we toured on a big bus. I remember getting on the bus and loading our stuff and being so confused and getting in and laying down in the little bunk and everything and being like, this doesn't feel. I remember the odd feeling of like disappointment, being like, this doesn't feel like tour. I'm comfortable. Too easy. I'm comfortable and happy. but we're lucky to do it, and we love doing it, and until like I can't walk or my arms fall off, I guess I'll keep on doing it.
Well, I mean, you don't need legs to play guitar.
True. But I love dancing.
That's great.
You can't have one without the other.
What has been your biggest challenge as a band?
I guess like having Tony around, like for any stretch of time. I mean, it's that whole thing where we're not a mainstream band, so we don't have U2's wallet, and so sometimes you do have to, especially in the early days of the band. Our tours are much more comfortable now, but in the early days of the band, you really do. You go out and you don't have money to stay anywhere. And we made a lot of lifelong friends over just like fans that would be like, come stay at our house, like open their house to us, not knowing anything about us, feed us. And some of these people we've known for well over a decade now. And they're like family. But that sort of stuff can be very hard on a band, and you really can't do another career if you take this even semi-seriously. You can't. There's no way to build a career around it.
Oh yeah, and most bands, because like you said, we don't have U2's wallet. We're not, we do all right, but we're not, I'm not going home laying on like a bed full of money every night or something like that.
You wish.
Goddamn right. So do you. So does everybody in this room.
I cover
Checks over there. Wait.
I cover mine in pennies, so I do.
but
So uncomfortable.
But at the same time, to the extent that we've gotten to, 90% of bands won't even see. So we've been very lucky.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's especially starting out like where I used to live when I used to live in Chancellor Apartments. It was a place that was a small efficiency. I kept basically nothing in it, and it was absolutely month by month. There was no lease, there was no nothing, because I didn't know if I was going to have a home when I got home, because I didn't know if I was coming home with money. It's one of those, like, I guess I'll be sleeping at Andy's house.
Well, yeah, you got on the road, and if your vehicle dies, and say it's $1,000 repair, there goes, a night of gigs. You lose money unexpectedly, so it's just hard to prepare for, but we're not complaining. This is awesome.
Well, and nowadays it's not it's not like that. Like we stuck with it. We loved doing it, and luckily it caught on with some people, and so that was great. And I don't know. I feel like now you asked us 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, and we could say all of that as a current thing. Be like, my God, I've got no money. I've got no home. I'm stealing that bowl of candy. I've just got no food.
Yeah.
Camera shut off.
That one shut off. That one's still going, so we're good. Batteries get low on that one.
Oh, gotcha.
One of our biggest challenges was when interviews went bad.
Sick of unprofessional.
And nowadays it's not like that by any means. So nowadays the challenges are really minimal. Like we just have a great time, and like things come up no matter what you do. You be sitting at home and your cable goes out. There's something else. You know what I'm saying? I'd be more pissed by that than a flat tire on the van on tour. I'll tell you that much. I got shit to watch.
Yeah, it always ticked me off in the past. Who has been the biggest inspiration for you guys musically?
Jesus. I don't think I've ever been in church once in my life, actually.
I don't know, like, if I go all the way back, when I was a kid, my first love was Kiss when I was like a little bitty guy.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then I got into Prince, I got into early hip-hop, I got into a lot of metal around the time when like Metallica and Anthrax and Megadeth and all those guys were at their biggest, Slayer, all that stuff. And then I got into Goth. Like, so my favorite Goth band is probably either Specimen or Switchblade Symphony. I just take influence from everything. I take a lot of my musical influence comes from movie soundtracks, like John Carpenter's work on like Halloween and Escape from LA and stuff, or Escape from New York and all that stuff. And I love that. And what is it, Goblin? The guy did all the Suspiria music and all that, like of that band Goblin, and yeah, that stuff I love. Where it's a kind of a repeated creepy theme and you put music under it, like all that stuff. But yeah, influence comes from everywhere.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of music we don't listen to. I know me growing up, and a lot of really somebody could tell in the way I play, but it was like, I wanted to be like CC DeVille or Slash or something when I grew up. I listened to so much 80s hair metal growing up, and to this day, it's with even the 80s hair metal or any metal, you're hard pressed to find better guitar playing,
yeah.
Or more prominent, and it's just the stuff I've loved. I remember the first time I heard Number of the Beast, or Appetite for Destruction or something. It's the first time you hear someone playing, and it doesn't even to me, I guess, and I guess everyone understands it, but it's like where it doesn't sound like music anymore. Like it sounds like another language or something, where it's like you can hear someone play something, you're like, I know what was going on for that person, or even just where it doesn't make sense as music anymore, as opposed to you and I talking. You know what I'm saying? And so it just grabbed me. That's I'm no Iron Maiden or Slash or anything like that, but I hope that that's where I kind of grabbed a lot of my influence from.
That's cool.
Try to do. Andy always yells at me though. No.
Now, I think with the influences, we've kind of answered this question a little bit already, but excluding yourselves,
Who are some of your favorite bands?
Just us. I don't listen to
And
that.
that's
I'm giving up on music all around.
It's funny. Like, I guess like right now, if I try to think of what I've been listening to in the last week, I've been playing some Faith No More. Which I've been loving those guys for a long time. Coco Rosie, I've been listening to a few of their things. Lana Del Rey.
I've never heard of Coco.
Good stuff.
Coco Rosie. Stop right there.
Also pulled out some of the more recent Megadeth stuff, which is surprisingly really good.
I heard a lot of racist stuff. Goddamn, Megadeth is good.
Yeah, they really are. New stuff's just as good, man. They're still like it's still amazing.
I've been oddly enough lately. What I've been listening to most of all in like the last few weeks has been a lot of like 50s R&B, a lot of Sam Cooke,
Oh wow.
a lot of Otis Redding. I've been listening to Benny King, all that good stuff. Old like 50s rock and roll as well. You know. I just went and saw Little Richard. So.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Haven't been listening to him as much as I just saw him. So I don't want to feel like that much of a turd. But you know, I've been a whole lot of like just older music. I listen to a whole lot of like the old like soul music for me. So that's basically I've been on this kick lately.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
You guys have a new album?
we do.
It's
We absolutely do.
Technically, it's done. We've got more songs than we need. Well, first off, our label Metropolis Records, and the pre-sales have been announced, but they're releasing a best of Bella Morte from the early years till 2012, a best of album that's coming out in June. It's just called the Best of Bella Morte, and
We re-recorded actually Even Song, which is off the first album. It's a ballad, but it's the way we do it nowadays. When we do it is very, very different. You know, it's just updated. You know, it's not, it doesn't sound like a different song by any means. It's just very updated, and so we decided to go ahead and redo that for it. So that'll be something you can only get on it.
yeah.
And also a couple other little things like Flatline, which is a song that was only released on a Metropolis Hot Topic compilation. And so it did very, very well, and people really liked it. And actually, we decided to put it on that compilation because we needed a song for the compilation. But it was originally going to be for a newer album, and people have been asking for it. So we decided, I'd probably make the cut as well for our greatest, best of.
But our next album, it's technically done. We actually have more songs than we need, so we're gonna put out the album, and we'll already be, by the time that album comes out, we'll be more than halfway done with the one after it.
Yeah, we're still consistently writing. So we've got like our group of songs, and then the ones that we're still working on. Someone has blown up over here, and we're like still like the group of songs we've been working on, and so kind of by the time it comes out, we're gonna have kind of a grab bag of stuff to. We like to cut out the fat too. Like we're not gonna write a song. And a lot of the way we do it, like our process, a lot of the time is we'll just sit down and play and write. But a lot of what we'll do is I'll come in with an idea, or he'll come in with an idea. We'll come in, we'll lay it down, and then together we'll rip the entire thing apart. And then we'll just each go in, and we're very good. I think one of the reasons, all joking aside, as I said earlier, but that a lot of it stays Andy and I is because he's the only musician I've ever played with no ego. And with me too, like if I'm sitting there and I'm like, I know I want to put a guitar feeler, I can't hear what I'm trying to do, and he's not gonna pick up the guitar and shred it out or anything. But I'll say, try this, play something out, or we'll sit at a piano. And the same with vocal lines, if he comes up short, he says, if you think of anything, bring it in, and it's not like I'm writing the lyrics or singing or anything like that. But it's one of those, we're very much more focused on creating the best song that we can. Something that we can both listen to and 100% be like, I would buy that album. Right. I don't care if it's his part or my part or what, because we're both going to be all over it. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't matter. It's stupid to worry about that. But like I said, so it's like, he'll come in with something and then we'll sit down and we'll say, well, this part's great. This part, we have a song on Beautiful Death. Fades Like a Song, and that was a completely different song that was guitar lines I had written. We went into the studio, Andy and I completely laid out this whole other song, and the main riff for Fades Like a Song was the little part was just the bridge that I had written. We said that is the strongest part of that song. We threw everything else out and built a whole new song out of one little part, and it's like that's just how we've been. And a lot of musicians. As much as it sucks, they cannot handle that. Like if it's not what they wrote, their part, and it's their part's the best, and no one else has another opinion, and if it's not that, then it's nothing, and they throw a fit and they leave. I don't think a lot of people, of course not everybody, but I think a lot of people don't understand that like that's not what it's about. Like let's have fun, let's make great music, and let's not worry about like what's mine and what's yours and everything else, because it's ours, and that's that, that's the way it should be, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, if you guys have anything you want to say to your fans right now, that's the camera look at. Now's your opportunity.
Why? Tell everyone why that's the camera look at.
Because that one went dead.
Buy our stuff.
Definitely charge your camera batteries. Especially if you're interviewing some band.
It's okay. It's
Spending
okay.
their time to come do your interview, and you're just gonna like.
See what you did? This isn't his fault. This is your fault. Also, it's okay to tell bands when they start talking too long, like,
Shut the hell up.
yeah, shut up. You can tell me to shut up.
You can tell us to
It's
shut
fine.
up.
I'm not telling y'all to shut up. That's rude.
What?
Come see us if we're in your town. Come see us because
We're incredible.
so talented. And we're good musicians. I was talking
And good looking.
I was talking about being lovers.
Very handsome.
Handsome.
Very handsome.
Smart.
Super intelligent.
These hands, even though they're kind of rough from playing guitar, but they've got a sensual touch.
I've had 4 horror novels published.
I can't read. I can't read.
You guys are great. Thank you guys so much for coming to do the interview. This has been awesome. And Bella Morte, check out their album. And we'll see you next time.